Pune was a seasoned real estate market with many players who had been in the market for over 50 years. To make inroads was not going to be easy in this market. The Palresha family decided to go for professionals, starting with the Chief Executive Officer, Sachin Bhandari. Sachin, thank you for joining us. Sachin, what are the qualifications that you bring to the table for VTP?
So once I did my engineering from COEP here in Pune and MBA in marketing finance, obviously my first job was with another part of the Fortune 500 company, and after that I joined ICICI Bank and was there for almost 12 years. So I got experience of industrial marketing sales as well as the sales and finance function in the banking industry, and after that I joined the real estate sector. Okay, and you can say the qualification point of view, it's been the team management, foreseeing what's going to happen much ahead of others can see those, and obviously strategizing to lead, and to lead at such a level which is practically beyond imagination for others. Okay, and that's what I brought on table at VTP. On the day one of my joining, I requested all the promoters to sit together and brainstorm. We brainstormed on the day one, and the idea was to basically align our thought process on the day one of the start of the mission. I take it as a mission and not as a job, because before joining here, because it was a mutual decision to join hands to create something which is beyond imagination, something which will be respected, something which will be spectacular for us as well as for the industry. So we thought that let's align our views and thought process so that once we start operations and we start building up the company, there should not be any disconnect, there should not be any looking back, or there should not be the issue of the fundamentals or the foundation. Okay, so on the day one, we sat and discussed, brainstormed, and we got everybody on the same table that what we want to do in life, what is it that VTP should be known for. So I did that exercise on the day one, and the result is that while Mr. VTP is the promoter, he is not involved in day-to-day operations. So it's Nilesh and Bhushan and me. We all got on the same, you can say, wavelength levels. And since that time, because of the wavelength matching and the vision being one, what we are supposed to achieve or what we are achieving now is something spectacular. And I think we have come a long way in the process and still a long way to go. So on one side, we are very dynamic. On one side, we want to be grounded. Very difficult combination, but that's an attempt from our side.
Being an engineer and an ex-banker, what was it that you brought to the table? Not only in sourcing finance, but in all the processes that were going to be set up.
I think I was blessed. I was blessed with my prior experience, and I believe that the universe was preparing me for this kind of an assignment. So first exposure of mine was with the Cummins India Limited, which was a part of the Fortune 500 company, Cummins Inc. And the kind of processes, the systems, the risk management which was involved in Cummins, I think that taught me how to run a company, or rather how to grow a company where you also contain the risks, okay, and do it successfully again and again every year. So I believe once the foundation was made in Cummins with the best practices in the world, I moved on to ICICI, which was again the leader in India. And ICICI is known for the aggression, the business, the innovation. Again, I was blessed. Okay, so on one side, the world famous practices, the best, you can say, risk controls in doing the business. On one side, the aggression, the innovation, and leading from the front. And that combo put together, I believe, and I joined here. So it was my just third, you can say, professional assignment. So today I got a 20 years of experience. So 15 years of experience I joined in this company. And I believe that I was prepared to have a good balance, being dynamic on one side, on being cautious and being very prudent on one side. Okay, I believe that's the need of the hour, because many organizations grow very fast and then they end up doing a lot of mistakes, and that's where the downtime starts. Idea was not to create an organization which will run successfully only for a short time or for a few years. Idea was to create an organization which will run for several years. And if possible, even after this, it can be made totally professional, listed, and all the professional taking care of it 100%. So yes, so as a banker and as a marketing person, I can say I bought this combination of being dynamic on one side and being prudent on one side. Having said that, with my prior experience, I learned that whatever big task is achieved in life in an organization is done by the teams. It's finally the people finally the employees who do the miraculous things. Okay, and I've been fortunate to have the experience in those great companies who believed in employees. Okay, and that's where I thought. So the day one, the moment I got my promoters on board in terms of the thinking patterns, okay, my assignment started with the setting up the HR department. Okay, because I know calls in saying that my appointment letter, you can say I don't have any appointment letter. Okay, I got a 1.5 line mail from the promoter. Okay, because there was no HR department. Okay, so I started with the establishment of the HR department. That was the first thing I did. Okay, because I knew I need to get the best talent and then retain them. That was first. And obviously, the moment HR started getting established, we started attracting the best talent in the industry. Okay, obviously, my prior experience and my name helped me to get the best talent, and I'm fortunate that trusted me. That the moment I was here, they believed that I will do something good for the organization, so they trusted me and joined on board. Because when I joined the real estate, you can say the business of this group was very minuscule. Other businesses were far larger than this, real estate. Real estate was supposed to be a small kid within the group. I can frankly say it was not even given much importance within the group that time. And it was just a 90 crore business annually. And that time we started this turnaround story and the building of the team. So obviously, again, in real estate, first comes the sales. Okay, the moment HR things started establishing, we started focusing on the sales. Okay, getting the best sales team, the marketing team on board, and relaunching the old projects what were there with the new strategies, with the new vision, and that's what we started. And simultaneously, we rebranded the whole VTP. So it was always known as the VTP group. This VTP Realty thing came in when we got in the best brand consultants on board. We did a lot of exercise that what we want to be as a brand, what we want to be as a company. So me and Nilesh, particularly along with the sales marketing team and the brand consultant, did a lot of work out there. Okay, and we literally compared ourselves not with the real estate industry alone, but we compared ourselves with even the mobile companies, even the laptop companies, okay, who are not from our industry. Idea was to get the best from every other industry or from every other source available in the market. Okay, so idea was basically not to follow the real estate developers blindly. Okay, create something which might be very different, may not be, you can say, very easy to understand for others in the real estate industry, but something very unique and very strong at the foundation. So we were very clear from the day one that we want to create something very different, something very unique and long lasting at the same time. So on one side, we started establishing the HR department. Other side, we started getting the best talent on the sales marketing. And the third thing was we started working on the brand. Okay, and that's where we rebranded the whole VTP group as the real estate vertical, say VTP Realty, with the logo as well as the thought process. And we said, VTP Realty, we care more. Every other business says that we care. No business can survive today without caring for employees or for customer. But we thought that let's be a little better. We said we care more. And obviously, I will elaborate a little more further. And we have further rebranded ourselves now into the world of thoughtfulness. The idea was also on HR, the sales marketing, the brand, and the fourth thing I started doing was the finance part of it. Okay, being an ex-banker and knowing the importance of finance, and I don't hesitate to say that real estate is heavily finance-dominated industry. In fact, we have seen success and the failure of the real estate developers in so many years has been because of finances, either well managed or bad managed. Okay, so obviously my focus was supposed to be on the finances, and major revival, you can see our turnaround started in the finance field of our company. So whole financing and the banking of this company was with, you can say, only the cooperative banks and the finances. So another major turnaround that I started after joining this is basically the banking and the financing within the company. So whole banking and financing within the company was managed through the cooperative banks, which are obviously, you can say, was completely past, and it was imperative for us to move or shift from cooperative banks to the nationalized banks as well as the well-known funds in the country if we wanted to grow. And the whole mindset in the company was to do the banking and the financing with the cooperative bank because it was very comfortable to do business with them. And so changing the mindset internally, because it was a relationship established for over several years there. Okay, so from changing mindset to getting the nationalized and the best of the banks, private banks on board, getting the finances from them, and then serving them well, okay, and creating a reputation with them. Okay, so this was a big task for me, and that's what we did very successfully. So if you say, in short, I created a brand on a 3 levels more so. One was the brand for a customer, one was brand for an employee, and one was brand for a finances. And I believe for the success of the organization, this is must. And that's how we work in a 360 way.
So Sachin, your journey in VTP has been almost entrepreneurial. What is that success mantra that helped you succeed?
See, I have been born and brought up in a little hard way because we've not been very fortunate to have a golden spoon. Okay, but then the values that were taught within the family and during the upbringing, they were very, very clear that yes, we need to do good in life in a genuine way, in the right way. There are no shortcuts in life. Okay, even if it is a hard way, if you're genuine and consistent on your efforts, you will get the best results that you can, achieve in your life. So that was the mantra, you can just say the values with which I was brought up. That's what continued during my education as well as in my service within several companies. Okay, and I was fortunate, again I say I was fortunate that I was with the best companies. Okay, one of the best companies in the country as well as the world. So again, I was with the people, surrounded by the people who again were supposed to be very, very good in different aspects. So I also learned during the time that I need to learn and you can say great things which are not there with me from others. Okay, so on one side, let's not have any shortcuts. Hard way is perfectly fine. Okay, for a long-term success. On the other side, I am not the perfect person in life. There are so many others who are really, really good at many things where I am really not there. So we can learn from others. Okay, and that's what helped me to, if you can say, sharpen my skills and competencies in various areas. So while I did my MBA only in sales, marketing and finance, and I'm an engineer, but today I am supposed to do anything and everything. Okay, so be it HR or be it in accounts on day-to-day or architect for that matter, engineering. Okay, as long as you got an attitude to learn, as long as you are flexible to learn from others, even if that person is down the line, even just executive level, junior most level, I believe that success cannot be far away from anybody, and that's what my success mantra I can say. So hard work, okay, quite a goal oriented, hard way is not a problem at all, and flexibility or willingness to learn from others, be at any level, I believe those are the key things and that are helping me to get success.
Sachin, you have brought design to the forefront and you've also focused on quality. Tell us a little more about how you have focused and what is your contribution in design and quality?
So I have been an outsider for a real estate industry till the time I joined VTP. Okay, and because I was lending to the customers as well as the developers from within the company, earlier company, I always knew what's happening in real estate and perhaps what developers are doing right or what developers are doing wrong. And I realized, and particularly when Lehman Brothers happened, till that time the industry was going very, very well. And the moment Lehman Brothers happened and there was a crash in the real estate sector in the country, and suddenly developers started making smaller houses and saying that the customers have now lower ticket size demand. They don't want to spend too much. They want to save. So they started making the smaller houses. And again, when customers started visiting those projects, they're not getting sold. And that's where the problem started. So what developers started doing was making smaller homes just to fit the ticket size requirement of the customers. And again, customers were visiting those projects and rejecting it. And the sales was not going up at all. And then developers started saying that market is really, really bad. But I never agreed with this understanding because I believe that home is finally one of the basic needs of any human being. And that too in India, where the home is also most emotional purchase anybody does in the lifetime. I never agreed with that, and I thought that developers are doing something wrong. And the moment I joined here, I first of all started working with the architect along with the other areas. and we started designing all the projects sitting here in our office. So as a practice in the real estate industry, what we have seen is architects design the projects and the builders and their team basically go out in the market and sell those units. But as per my understanding, the product has to be designed by those people who are on the ground, who know the pulse of the market, who know the customer needs, be it articulated or not articulated. Sometimes there are a lot many unspoken needs, or many times even customers don't understand their needs totally. So our job is actually to understand those needs, okay, and deliver. So we thought that there is a gap, and this industry has been ruled by the architect who practically sit in the AC cabins and then design. And that's where we got a change within our company, and we said that there is a problem. There is a problem that a mid-segment home, a 40 lakhs or 50 lakhs a customer, a budget customer who is looking for a 2 BHK first home of his life, of her life, and you are offering a home with a huge passage, which is not offering any living area for you. We are offering a big terrace, but the kitchen and the living area of the bedroom is so small that you don't have even enough space to move around or you want to put the furniture. I thought that was the wrong design. The principle of wrong designs. But for every single square feet provided in the house, the customer was required to pay. So budget was high, but however, the house was not meeting the requirement of the customer. And that's where we started getting into it. So we started working with the architects directly. So I started working with the architect directly, designed each and every project plan on my table, okay, considering every single room dimension, wall, whatever passage or terrace required. It was designed considering the spoken as well as unspoken needs of the customer of a particular segment. So if you look at it, the mid-segment customer has got a different need and a luxury segment customer has got a different need altogether. Now, mid-segment customer cannot have a luxury of a private, you can say a privacy and all that. Whereas the luxury segment customer will look for the privacy and all that. And that person will have money to pay for the privacy. So we looked at the target segment, understood their needs better, and then started designing the products. And that's where we came at the situation that we clearly say that we design better. But again, designing better was one part of it, because when I said we started rebranding the whole VTP Realty and we decided the priorities of VTP Realty, we came out with a 3-tier philosophy, which finally turned out to be the better design, better build, and better care. This was basically, so better design and better build takes care of the product, okay, and the better care takes care of the service part of it. So finally, we never wanted to be the sales marketing company who is good in only achieving the sales. However, we wanted to be a product company who follows the service industry, you can say, a model. So that's what we achieved through better design, better build, and better care. And obviously, the result is seen out there in the humongous success.
Sachin, you also brought in third-party auditors for design. Tell us a little more about what value they brought to the table.
So while we decided internally that we will design better, we'll build better, and we'll care more, but that was for the internal teams. Now, we all know that when we grow, the teams grow, and many times it's possible that we might lose control somewhere. There's all the probability, even if you've got the best practices in place, finally it's people working in the remote sites. And we are working in a HO, and there is a fundamental principle that we are supposed to work in a particular way, but there could be gaps. Now, our customers cannot become the victim of those gaps. So on one side, we are saying that we care more. On one side, we are saying that we will build better. And one side, if you don't deliver on what you say, okay, then it becomes a marketing campaign, and it doesn't survive for a long time. Okay, and that's where we thought that we need to bridge the gap. Okay, on one side, we are working on creating employees' mindset which is completely in line with ours. That is one way of doing things. But at the same time, we thought there has to be still a check which is not through us or our employee, but a third party who has nothing to do with us as a company. Okay, and they are given a task that once we have built a home or any unit, you have to come, okay, before we call the customer for the inspection of the position, and just find the faults. Okay, and again, our industry is something like that. It's highly a technical product. Now, what happens? Not many customers don't understand the technicalities involved in the product. Now, what can the way the tiling is laid on the floor, okay, whether there is any problem with the material use, okay, what kind of quality is being used inside the flat, and all those technicalities cannot be understood by any layman or any customer for that matter. And that's where we thought we'll get the technical experts for a third party. They will check each and everything okay, with inside the house, and then certify us whether are we perfect on each and everything. Okay, if we are not perfect, and if as much scenario they find a 10 faults within a particular flat, okay, then it's given back to our engineering team and they are supposed to correct it. Once they correct, again the third party cross checks. Only when this third party okays that no, all the problems are taken care of completely, okay, and then only it's handed over to our CRM, and then CRM calls the customer for the inspection. Now, here the beauty here is, okay, the problems which even the customer can't see or understand are highlighted and corrected. It clearly means that the customer will get absolute best quality whatever happens out there.
You have focused on maximum livable area homes. Tell us some more about how did you maximize the space?
So maximum livable area, the way I said, after Lehman Brothers happened, the developer started designing projects and the flats which offered small room sizes. Okay. However, the budget was still high because there were a lot of inefficiency design inside the house. The way I said, for a 600 or 700 square feet carpet area flat, if you've got a huge passage area in the front as well as in between the house, that area obviously has to be paid for by the customer. Okay, and if you offer a big terraces, because they were earlier the free of FSI and there are more profit for the developer, if you offer the big terraces, customer has to pay for it. But finally, the areas within the living rooms, the kitchen and the bedrooms and the washrooms get affected. Okay, and finally there is a budget constraint for each and every customer. That mid-segment customer drops the idea to buy a home even if the budget is going up by 1 lakh. That's sensitive. At the same time, nobody will like to live in a very compromised way in a very, very small house. Okay, where there is no space to move around or there is no space to place the proper furniture. And that was the problem. So that's where we came out and we said that we'll design better, and that's where we started designing in such a way that only required kind of space was given for the passage. For example, for a mid-segment home, when you enter a home, you need a space for a shoe rack. That's it. They can't afford a privacy, a bigger foyer and a bigger passage for a privacy. So you need to provide a space only for the shoe rack and you can enter into the living. So that much space is provided, that's it. Okay, and the moment you get into the living area. Similarly, inside the house, if there are 2 bedrooms attached to the living rooms, we design in such a way that minimum space is vestaged. Okay, as a left aside, only for a moving for the people. Okay, so again the minimum possible passage area there also. For the terrace, that segment need a particular terrace size. They don't need a terrace which is equivalent to your room size. Okay, it is a luxury for them just to have a fresh air outside and have a better view coming outside. So we analyzed that and we designed product in such a way that all those wastages were minimized. Entire efficiency went up like amazing. Okay, and the living area, the living room size, the kitchen size, the bedrooms and everything went up phenomenally. So there is enough space for the sofas or the dining table or the beds and everything, and still there is a space for you to move around in the house. Now, it increased the room dimensions and all the customers started getting a feel that I'm getting a bigger home, and yes, they are getting a bigger home. Whereas my total carpet area remains the same. And that's where we came out with the concept that maximum livable area. So government did their part by standardizing and forcing all developers to come to the carpet area. Earlier there was a sellable area, built-up area, super built-up area, and there was so much of confusion for the customers. The government did their job by bringing the term of carpet area and making it compulsory. But I believe that was not sufficient, because all the passages and the inefficiencies also are calculated in the carpet areas. And that's where we said that all those wastages are removed, efficiencies increase, and we started offering the bigger room dimensions in the same carpet area like the competition does. That means the budget remained the same and my customers started getting the bigger homes. So luxury on one side, the budget on the same, again in the constraint within their home limits. So practically the best of both the worlds. That's what we bought with the concept of maximum livable area for our customers.
And how much more space does the consumer get compared to others in the market?
Okay, what we have seen over a period of time is we at least increase efficiency from, depending on the project, 15 to 20%. You can fairly say that the efficiency is higher compared to the other project designs in the market.
VTP is also known as a turnaround specialist. Tell us a little more about how this happened.
So this started perhaps after we acquired the large part in the 2 stuck projects in Pune on both on the east and the west side. Those projects were stuck for several years, perhaps more than 5-6 years. Okay, and at the areas which were now, you can say, completely out of the target area for the customers. So those locations had become barren now. Projects have been abandoned for several years, and those we acquired projects and rebranded them, redesigned them, and we relaunched them. With our strategy, catering to the customer needs, spoken and unspoken both, the way we designed the project, the way we again approach the customers with the commitment of better design, better build, and better care, we turn around those projects, and we made these two projects perhaps the most successful projects of Pune till now. Pune has seen. Okay, and that too simultaneously. Okay, so the locations which were basically now left barren completely, the projects were stuck. And the moment we entered those markets with the new launches, with our strategy, with the better design and the commitment of better design, better build, better care, we turn around those locations. Obviously, yes, we have been doing work in the market, and people had started believing us and looking at us as a very trusted and genuine player. It worked very well in our favor. And yes, as a sales strategist, we have got very aggressive sales strategies. We have got the best team. So while I have been working like an entrepreneur, I take a pride in saying that our employees also work like entrepreneurs. So while we've been doing a lot of good work on the better design, better build, and better care, we got really aggressive sales strategies on board. Our team works like an entrepreneur. The way I work like an entrepreneur, the team also follows the same path. The kind of culture and the values that's been built in the company. Okay, everybody takes the responsibility of their work and delivers something which is absolutely outstanding. So yes, within the company, we are very aggressive, very dynamic, while being grounded. At the same time, we believe in setting new benchmarks every single day, every single month. We don't like to sit on the past laurels, and that's what helped us to turn around these two biggest, you can say, Stark Township projects in Pune into a huge success, perhaps. And to the extent I will tell you, Mahalunge locations where we launched Township codename Blue Water became the #1 location of Pune. The moment we relaunched this project, till that time Hinjewadi has been ruling Pune as the #1 location. Okay, so Mahalunge became #1 location for the first time after Hinjewadi having created history for so many years. Same thing happened with the Manjri location, which is close to Kharadi. Okay, so yes, it's a combination of several factors, I can say, that best employee practices, the culture, the value, the sales strategies, the designing, okay, and being very genuine towards our customer. So all this put together helped us to turn around those Tux projects. And today, every other developer and the landowners are looking at us as a future partner for their lands or the projects, and they are approaching us to turn around their projects into a huge success. And I believe that's where we got a next big opportunity lying with us, being a turnaround specialist.
So what's next on your horizon?
Okay, so what's next? So that's the where I ended now. Okay, so being a turnaround specialist, I must say that expanding business has become a little easier for us now compared to the earlier years. So when we started, I started particularly 5 years back, getting things on track and growing it was not so easy. It was like a race with hurdles. Okay, but today, after establishing VTP as a brand for customers, financiers, employees alike, okay, and after you can say attaining the #1 spot in the industry, at least in Pune level for last 2 years, and even overtaking the national level players at Pune level, I believe the expansion of business has become little easier for us compared to the earlier one. Today, sitting in the office, we are getting several proposals for acquisition of the lands and the new projects, and those are the best locations, okay, at the best possible commercial terms. Okay, so practically you can say we are in a position to reap the benefits of all the hard work that we have done in the last few years. Okay, so yes, in Pune we are getting several proposals of the new projects, okay, which are in favor of us at very good locations. That's one. So our expansion is going to continue at a rapid pace. That's one. Second, it's possible that we might enter the new markets, so Mumbai first. Later on could be the Bangalore and Hyderabad. But as of now, we are surely in discussion with Mumbai developers and the Mumbai landowners for acquisitions. So yes, we see that we entering Mumbai in the next financial year. And that's clearly the result of getting the huge success in the last 5 years and being the turnaround specialist. And yes, customers as well as other developers or landowners expect us to do good in the future as well. And yes, we will continue to be uncompromising when it comes to the sticking to the fundamentals and the basics, which has helped us to come to this stage. Okay, at any moment, we even at the management level, don't allow us to get carried away by the success that we got till now, because there are so many people we keep talking to and they keep praising us. The moment the praise comes on you, okay, there is a tendency of getting overboard or being over ambitious, okay, or getting carried away. The way promoters said earlier, okay, we are very clear that all four of us ensure that none of us gets overboard. We act as a check on each other. Okay, and even if one of us is trying to go overboard, the other three will try to get that person in control. And so that's the first thing that we want to do going ahead. That's next. While growth is very important, I believe that keeping the fundamental in place is more important, because that's where you will get a sustainable growth, and that's the fundamental at VTP. So one is we are trying to control at our level, our own desires, okay, and not going overboard. At the same time, when we are achieving so much of success, this success is all because of the employees' efforts, which means that it's not only we that are doing good, but our employees are doing really good in their life. And they're also doing good and they're growing. Now, once they are growing and they are young, there are all the chances of also, they're getting overboard or overambitious or getting carried away. So we have got a job cut out for ourselves and for our HR, that we spend time in developing the teams, okay, who are anyways doing good, but they remain grounded. Okay, they don't go overboard. They don't go for the shortcuts again for the success, because glory gets to the head, and that's where the downfall starts. So we are a bit aware about this harsh facts of life, and so we ourselves as well as our team, we want to be in check on all those fronts. So on one side we are being dynamic and looking for the acquisitions and growth. On the other side, we trying to keep ourselves in check, okay, in terms of our aspirations. And hopefully this combination will ensure that we keep on growing at a fast pace without any, you can say, wrong result or wrong output in the future as well.
And all this translates into better bottom lines as well?
Yes. So while our top line has been growing at a very fast speed, so in last 5 years, our top line has grown by 20 times in the last 5 years. So from 90 crores and growing 20 times over that turnover has been remarkable journey for us at VTP. And obviously the turnover has been growing up. Real estate offers good opportunities for us. So yes, it's been helping us to increase the bottom line. There has been a lot of focus. So on one side, we are increasing the top line. For increasing bottom line also, there has been a lot of focus. So the way I said, I still remember during the lockdown period, somebody asked me the question, what kind of cost cutting measures you are doing to get the cost in control? And I said, why do you need to do cost control? And I said, generally when companies grow at a very fast pace, they keep adding flaps, and and that's where you need to take the corrective actions when such kind of things happen like lockdown and corona. And I said, that's where we are a little different at VTP Realty. At VTP Realty, we never went overboard. Even when we were doing good and our top line was increasing at a phenomenal speed, we never ever hired people just like that. Because on one side we are growing, we had a policy of no hire and fire policy. Okay, we had adopted that policy because we wanted to be a very good employer in the industry. So we had no hire and fire policy. So whatever employee base that we recruited, that was recruited only after a thorough consideration, only after knowing the fact that that person is required for doing that particular job. So we are not reckless. We are not reckless in recruiting people. That was one. Second, the kind of salary that we always pay to our employees, again, we were not going overboard at all. Based on the skills and experience of the particular person and our capacity, based on that, only we hired the employees and paid the salaries. Again, on that same board, we never went overboard. So we never increased the salary cost beyond the point. Okay, so that's coming to the salary cost. Coming to the admin cost and the marketing cost, we are very, you can say, prudent from the day one. Unlike other industries and other companies who were flush with the money to spend on marketing, we were not, and that acted as a blessing in disguise for us. So we were being very wise and prudent from the day one when it came to the spends on the marketing as well as the admin. Okay, and so whatever brand we created in the market, okay, that was actually after doing a lot of study of the best practices to be implemented, and then only we went ahead. So while for increasing the business, we need to do advertisement and marketing. We need to have holdings and everything. But then we did better negotiation. We acquired better holdings. We got efficiencies in the digital marketing. Okay, we got all the digitized all our marketing. You can say the material. We started doing the online bookings. So we always focused on using technology, increasing the efficiencies in everything what we do, and at some places not splurging money just for the sake of it, which is also a habit of many. So yes, I can say, so while the top line itself was helping us to increase the bottom line, having various costs in control also helped us to maintain and increase our bottom line at every single time, every single year. So yes, our bottom line is obviously also getting rather a good push and the upward side.
That was Sachin Bhandari, CEO of VTP Realty. Thank you so much, Sachin, for joining us.